When people talk about Mission Valley's problems, they usually mention two. One that's been around forever and another not nearly so old.
The traffic situation is a mess, and the planning was poor when it was put together.
How about the flooding occasionally?
That's a problem. That is a very serious problem.
Mission Valley floods and has for hundreds of years because it's also the San Diego River bed. The traffic situation has gradually gotten worse as valley farmland gave way to development. Shopping centers, office buildings, multifamily housing, and in the case of what was once Allen's Dairy, a sprawling motel. And development of the valley is not halfway complete.
It is hard to believe, but Mission Valley is only 40% developed. That means there's 60% to go. Now, most of that is new development, but some of it is redevelopment. And that means that what happened with Allen's Dairy years ago will soon happen with some places in the valley with which we've become pretty familiar.
I think it's inconceivable that, for instance, the car lots will remain as car lots. That property is too valuable, and eventually those who own the property underneath of it that are leasing them out will choose to put another use there. We have already seen some plans to redevelop much of the property. All of the sand and gravel extraction plants, for instance, are going to be eliminated, and you will see development in their place.
There are big plans for Mission Valley, and its district councilman Ed Strexma hopes future development won't be as piecemeal as in the past. So too do city planners.
Very definitely a piecemeal process. You had development occurring with no plan. Obviously there was no plan in the valley. It just sort of occurred as the property owner or developer desired it to occur.
For the future, there's a plan, a community plan, expected to be approved by the City Council by late May or early June. There's never been one for the valley.
We are going to build a number of new roadways that will enable an individual to go from one point to another point without getting on the freeway. We will be upgrading many of those roadways, the north-south roadways, so that every time there's a little drizzle, we don't have to close down the roads.
Over the next 20 to 25 years, if things go according to the plan, continued Mission Valley development from the stadium west will be in phases, 200 to 250 acre parcels at a time. Many public improvements will be paid for with private development money. Street widening, public transit, and river improvements included.
Some of the major projects in the valley either have in the past or are making commitments to providing a 100-year flood control facility and also making contributions of either right-of-way reservations or dedications or actual funding for a light rail transit line through the valley.
I think we have some exciting ideas on how to take care of the problems. In fact, some of the developments that we've approved most recently in the valley, we have already extracted from the property owners almost $100 million worth of commitments for public improvements in the future.
The future will bring more condos, apartments, office buildings, retail outlets, clubs, and restaurants to Mission Valley. Those who live, work, shop, or do it all here are both hopeful and skeptical.
I don't see where they have the room to do the major improvements.
Would you like to see more development here?
No, I think there's enough.
History has shown what can happen when a flood-prone area is developed for high-intensity use without a plan. What a difference a decade or two could make here. The good or the bad of it will depend on how well the plan works.